July 16th. Alex starts off with a quick prayer. Father God, we thank you for this day. Thank you for our community. We pray for vision, pray for direction in this meeting. Pray you'd help us be successful in building up our community. And it's in Jesus' name, amen. Roll call.
Gary Blumenhurst.
Here.
Mayor Neff.
Here.
Robbie Bunch.
Here.
Cameron Bonowit.
Here.
Chief Snyder.
Present.
Chief King.
Here.
Okay, and we already opened the bids for the sanitation service. We did that, so.
Oh, I didn't remove it, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. So actually, do we have a motion to approve? I guess this is you and I.
I'll make a motion.
All right, to approve the agenda with an amendment that we don't have to open the sanitation service bids, so. Okay, yeah, and Gary motions and I'll second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and, okay. So, okay, and we got the minutes in front of us as well. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as shown?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Gary motions, all second, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and Mr. Gary West is here. You would like to speak first?
That's up to you. I just going through your agendas. I thought maybe it's down in new business. I didn't know. Anyway, okay. I've actually got two things I'd like to discuss with the board.
Sure.
The first one, I'd like for the board to take into consideration of either making plate glass a three-way stop or Henderson Street a four-way stop in order to slow the traffic coming down Standard Oil. It's like a racetrack through there.
Oh, okay.
Very few people ever stop at Windsor and
Yeah.
Standard anyway.
Right.
But we get a lot of traffic in from the southern wells, and they know they come Warren Avenue and around.
Okay.
And there's a lot of traffic, and that's also a school bus stop.
Okay.
Either one would be a big plus if they would stop a block or 2 blocks back to where then they gotta stop at Windsor and Standard.
Okay.
And then the highway, so it would just kinda help the traffic slow down and
Okay.
keep the flow going also.
Okay.
So that's just a consideration, something to think about
Okay. All
for
right.
the
Well,
board.
we'll have a discussion with our
I've-
police department and see what.
I've had Chris down there before.
Okay.
I had video of trucks, dump trucks going down through there, and they'd actually not even come close to even stopping. They just blowing through the stop sign,
They just both through the stop
and he
signs.
took care of it.
Okay.
But it's coming back again.
We addressed that problem with the carrier, so
Yeah.
that it's a problem again.
Yep.
We address it.
Okay.
Yep.
But you think?
Same one.
Well, I mean, is adding another stop sign gonna help that, or is that?
Well, you'd have to stop twice, so it'd
Yeah.
stop all the truck traffic, I think, coming
Yeah.
down through there.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I even get semis that come in, they come in from 303
Yeah.
from the south,
Oh,
and they're going around Warren Avenue. They know the bypass, it's quicker.
okay, wow. Huh.
So they can just, they just bypass town basically,
Yeah,
see?
I see.
And come down through there, and they only got one stop,
Right.
which is Standard, and then next stop the highway, and
Yeah,
they go out to the west.
oh, okay, huh, okay.
So that was just something to think about.
Okay.
I mean, I think it'd be an easy fix if something was like that would happen,
Okay, all right.
just to stop the traffic.
Okay,
Second issue I got, everybody probably knows anyway, is water and water issues plus sewer.
right,
Whenever I have water in my front yard, the city sewer is standing clear full. I have pictures on my phone from the last rainstorm again. It's happened 5 times already this year. Probably the last maybe 5 to 7 years prior back to this, no issues.
yeah,
Now the water's not draining again. But the question being is, if we've got storm water and we're separated down there, if we got storm water filling the city sewer clear up to my house clean out,
yeah,
then what's stopping city sewer
Yeah.
going back into the storm drain?
yeah,
7 years ago, I had the county board of health come over and take water samples on my front yard. It was sewage.
oh, really, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anytime I got water in my front yard, it's actually backing up from that 15-inch storm drain in the alley.
And I talked to Cooley this morning, and they're going to be here next week.
Next week, okay,
Yeah,
all right, so
clean it
we did
along.
take your advice, and we're gonna get coolies. to
Right.
come out here.
But that still don't stop the storm water from getting into the sewer and filling the sewer up.
Okay, all right, well,
You don't know where that's at or anything, where the problem might be or anything?
Well, they're on Windsor Street. If you go pull the solid top clean out for the sewer and the storm drain, they're level. They'll be level at Windsor Street, both of them.
So they're connected together somewhere, ain't it?
Somewhere there's a connection, but you know what? Probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, you and,
Probably 15 or so.
they smoked all that down through there, big time.
Never found a thing.
Never turned up nothing. But somewhere it's tied. Or the sewer wouldn't be full because they've just put that in, 15 maybe? I'd have to look it up. I've got it all documented at
All
home.
when
But
they got separated back there, all was more than 20 before I got here.
before you got there even, okay, say 20-plus years ago it was separated, but they put a whole new sewer in and just left the storm drain, because the storm drain going through there is 15-inch. The last administration told me that when they took care of and they run all that new storm drainage to the south of me, that was gonna eliminate our problem, because they was gonna take all that storm water to the south that was running north,
Right.
and it was gonna divert it to down there. Well, obviously that didn't do anything for it either, so.
Where does that go down there, you know?
Now, would Cooley's be able to help with us?
Ask Hoffels, do what?
Could they with, because they've got cameras, right? When they put in there, they run
Yeah,
cameras.
I'm not scheduling a camera, but they do have cameras that'll go.
Could they help with this and kind of
Yeah,
finding
they
it? Okay, why don't we see if they could help and see if they can locate what's going on and tell them the problem and, so, okay, all right.
And
So-
and then across the street, that drain, that's almost completely plugged, because the last rain we had, 24 hours later, you could walk over there to the clean out in Glen David's yard, it's standing clear full yet, 24 hours later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
And
So it-
that's also being scheduled to be cleaned.
Cooley's gonna fix it.
So
too.
whatever's
Okay,
going
all
on
right.
from there to Chapman Ditch can't be good, because like I said, it's not draining at all, and that's,
But I think that's that tree line there at the end of Henderson Street.
could be, because it goes right there to that tree line and goes about a 45 degrees back to Chapman Ditch.
Well, would you, give Mr. West a phone call then after Cooley's comes and?
He'll see.
Oh,
Cooley's
he-
truck.
You already know it all about it? You'll know before he
I
does?
know where yeah, I know Robbie good, so he's done a lot of work down there. He knows what's going on. I mean, they've actually come down during rainstorms and pulled the tops
Yeah.
and verified that they're standing clear full.
Yeah, okay,
But like I said, that water then, it just runs from back of the alley, right there to the clean out,
yeah,
up the block, and then just, my yard fills because it's the lowest point.
okay.
It just backflows,
Yeah.
and you can just see it just flowing
Well,
backwards.
we've had some incredible rains. It'll be interesting to see what they say,
Yeah.
because that'll be,
And I understand that, the rain issue's not the problem, but when your city sewer's full for 4 hours at a time till that drains,
Yeah.
because when the water in the front yard goes away, the sewer's gone,
yeah. So this year, you couldn't flush your toilets?
5 times.
And you couldn't flush your toilets, did you say, or you?
Yep,
or
no, you can't,
You can,
nope,
you cannot,
nope.
okay, all right, well,
But I told him we're gonna spend a full day just cleaning everything down in
right,
that area.
okay, all right, good, okay,
Can I show you a picture?
sure,
So there's the water in the front yard. There's this clean out back of my house. It's only about 8 inches down from the top, and it's like that every time it rains. So whenever there's water out there, that's full also.
okay, all right. Is that, what do you think of that, Rob?
I don't know if
Is
it
that a
just,
sign that
I don't
the-
know if it just the sewer got overwhelmed with all the rain and then we finally got caught up. 'Cause not all of the town is separated. We got a majority of it separated, but not all of it.
Okay, all right.
But
Well,
some of my questions though is like, okay, if you go out and pull the top, the solid top there on Windsor Street, and it's full, and my yard, and this is full.
Yeah.
Where's all the sewage up from the south going?
right, yeah, I mean.
It's
yeah,
gotta go somewhere.
Right, well, okay, well, hopefully Keeley's can give us some
Some
answers.
insight to it.
And we'll, okay, all right,
Told him just give me a call when they're coming
That's it.
over.
I just, like I said,
All
the
right.
water.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, okay, got our department reports then. Rob Bunch, their, water and sewer department,
I have nothing.
or nothing? Oh, okay,
I really don't have nothing on water. Been kind of busy with sewer. There was an issue that we've had going on for a little while down at the end of Standard and High Street. There was some clay tile underneath the Standard that we ended up replacing, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday. We got that dug up. Matter of fact, Mr. West
Yeah,
showed
I'm
up
down there.
just as we popped the clay tile that was backed up, and yeah, you like that.
A little smelly.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
replaced what, 50 to 75 feet of sewer, I think. it
Probably
was.
50 foot, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got
Wow,
that all
okay.
taken care of. Hopefully, they won't have no more issues.
Okay.
I did talk to the grandson, told him hopefully quit flushing wet wipes. There was quite a few wet
Yeah,
wipes in
that's
the
right, you told
drain.
me that. Yeah, that's,
A lot of them say
just a
flush.
public service announcement, please do not use disposable wipes. They do not flush.
They
It
say-
doesn't matter what they say.
They say
Yeah, they don't, yeah, they clog up the sewer systems.
if they don't clog up their lateral, they clog up our lines. They
Yeah.
do clog up our pumps. And like the cheapest time we've had a pump pulled was about $500.
Yeah.
It was just to unclog the pump, shove it back down, and
I wish they were held accountable for,
Mm-hmm.
for making that announcement or putting that on their packages that you can flush those, because
Yeah.
they do not work.
Courthouse has signs in their bathrooms over
Do
there.
they? Yeah, yeah.
Don't
That's-
flush 'em.
Yeah,
Another issue was out the racetrack. There's a drain on the east side there in that field. It kind of floated up. So
Yeah,
Chase
oh, yeah.
put a load of riprap rock to kind of hold that down.
Okay.
To help out with some of that flooding out there.
Okay.
We're gonna look at some other ways to help keep that water around that drain, to help that, the flooding issues on Mr. Dunica's
yeah,
property.
okay.
To
all
help
right,
that out.
All right.
If anything gets around that, there is a drain in Dunica's yard to help, with that issue.
Right, right, okay, okay.
Called Cooley's in a couple weeks ago to fix the catch basin issue on Windsor Street by the railroad tracks. They got that taken care of. Asked for a guesstimate on what that price was gonna be, and it's around about $6,000 to $7,000 is what that cost was. So now when they come through Windsor Street, putting that sidewalk and the paving in, that's all
right.
taken care of.
Okay, all right, good.
And that was right over the top of a 36-inch sewer. That 36 drains half to 3/4 of the town.
Okay,
So that was kind of a serious deal. If that would've
Yeah.
collapsed, that would've been extremely expensive to
Yeah.
fix, and would've had to do bypass pumping and everything until they got that fixed, but
yeah.
that was a
So- so
fairly
good.
simple, straightforward,
Good, good.
about a day to fix, but I got that taken care of.
Yep. Okay, good.
We had a CSO audit with IDEM, which you set in
Yeah,
with.
yeah,
To kind of go over some of the sewer projects we had to get down to less discharges into the river during a rain event. And we went around to some of the CSOs. There was a tree that fell down at the Fireman's Park next to a CSO. That was within a few feet of taking out our control panel. Chase ended up getting that taken care of, got that cleaned up. Out at the ponds, or the chlorine building out there, he went out there and kind of got that power wash, so that looks nice and white and looks presentable again. And I think that's about it, other than I got a hold of Cooley's about getting the jetting done, which I'll let Mr. West know.
In our CSO audit, we basically came out good on that, right?
Yes, yeah, there was a
no
few
issues.
little issues
Yeah,
that,
right,
you
right,
know,
yeah.
get taken care of,
So
but
that's good.
other than that, yeah, everything was pretty good.
Okay, all right.
That's why it went pretty quick,
Yeah,
wasn't here
yeah,
for hours.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So, other than that, I think
Okay.
that's about it, unless somebody got questions.
We hadn't heard any more about our filter thing down there, have we?
No, I don't know.
I don't, when do we find out about that grant?
I thought it was in this month.
Is it? Okay, all right, all right. That might be when it's due. I don't, I think they submit it, and then we might, I think we'll find out after that, but I'm not sure when. So, yeah, we're applying for a grant we got one of our filters is leaking at the water plant. Did you know familiar with that?
Yeah, I already know about it.
Okay, okay. All right, so we're get a grant to help us fix that. Okay, all right, thank you. All right, and Cam, for our street department?
Basically just keep doing every day-to-day operations, mowing, trimming, spraying weeds, trying to keep up on everything. Have done a few projects though this month. Got all the basketball courts installed. Got that finished up. You can play on them now. They're all done. We're waiting on Chris Libby to finish up the painting of all the striping and everything on that. Should be here Monday. When he gets that finished up, we will be installing 2 pickleball nets, and then I believe a fence will be coming shortly after that to kind of help keep the stuff corralled, you know. And then that'll be all finished up on that. We will be putting, talked about putting up, maybe a couple picnic tables up there too, in a couple areas, just to give people some seating, you know, when we get the swing set installed, and then we're gonna put some trash cans up there, just that way people have somewhere to dispose of trash, not on the ground.
Right, yeah.
Got that all finished up. We had got the Fireman's Park grass all done, leveled out, strawed, grass seeded. We got sprinklers down there now. Asked people not to mess with them. We've used them a few times where the fire hydrant, the ring on the bottom, had broke. I assume a mower may have hit it. A wheel on the mower might have. It's cast, so it probably just broke it off, and we're waiting on that part to get, you know, installed. They got it on order, I believe.
Yeah.
Then we can start watering that a little more frequently to get the grass growing again. Flagpoles out front had gotten knocked down by a car again. We got those on order now. I got all the paperwork to Margaret for the insurance company on that, but they're kind of backed up.
Still waiting on cost to install.
Yeah, the installation fee. I haven't checked my email. He probably had sent it in to me, so I'll get that over to you. The project, the community crossings project, starting back up. They just started back up today. They pushed back their end date, I think, a week. It's going to be around Jamboree time. We're going to try to get them to get our detour route done first, so we can detour the traffic on them roads, and then they should be pretty much out of the way from that.
Did you see he moved that appointment back an hour, so it's at noon on Friday instead
At
of
noon
1?
on Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. But they're started back up on that, gonna finish up sidewalks, then they'll start on all the milling, and then they'll go into the asphalting and wrapping up, and they'll be finished up. Got our new Bobcat in. I can't remember, we got it in this month, traded it off. Well, not traded off, but we have a yearly thing, subscription essentially. For $2,000, they'll trade in our old for a new one. And we just received it here a couple weeks ago. We did send in our John Deere bigger tractor we got, the one with the front loader. We had to send it in to get some electronics fixed on it. They just go bad, and it was beyond us repairing it.
Yeah.
We could throw parts into it, but we don't know. We don't have scan tools and stuff for that.
Who does that?
It's
Troxel.
Troxels, or it's
True Land.
True Land Equipment out of Bluffton.
Okay.
They come picked it up here last Friday, and
Yeah.
they'll figure it out and get it back to us. I believe that's who we bought it off of, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. It's been cleaning up, curbs and stuff, getting ready to start ramping up for Jamboree. We're gonna start painting curbs here probably the first of the month, and just getting things cleaned up, make the town look nice again.
Yeah, good.
So that's about it. We did get the disc golf course kind of started. We haven't finished anything yet, but we got all the nets and baskets out there just to kind of get a feel for what we need to do. And then once we get it finalized, we'll get everything drilled in the ground, and we're going to put nice little T stations out there, and it should be, it should turn out pretty nice. But other than that, that's about it.
Good. Yeah, people are welcome to play on them now. It's really
Stationary for now.
Yeah, it's we can move these holes around, so if they're not in the right spots, we've just got them in concrete buckets, so people can go out there and play them, and if they want us to move them, and just
Feedback is
Yep,
nice.
Yep, give us some feedback. We haven't even got the holes marked as far as, but there's 9 holes out there, but you can just have to-
You can kind of see it.
yeah, so they're not marked yet, but we're coming. I just talked to Michael McLean today. He's going to put a nice Montpelier disc golf course around that in that circle
Yeah.
around there, and then you're going to mark with a flag on top for every one of them, which hole number, and then when we get tee offs, we'll have a little sign there too. So,
Yep.
and
Should look pretty
at some point
nice.
we'll put a 4x8 pad.
Like a
around.
T station,
T
kind
station.
of, that way you know where to start, and
Yeah.
where the end is.
Yeah.
That make it kind of easier for some people to find out, it kind of shows you exactly where
Yeah.
you're starting.
Yep. That's good. Very good. All right. Well, I've heard positive comments. Make everything looks nice around town, so
I
that's good.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So,
Better than ever asked.
yeah. Well, that's people really like the sidewalks open up too, so that's good. They're
Yeah.
glad
Yeah,
you're
we
getting those sprayed.
We stay on that, trying to keep the weeds sprayed
Yeah,
on.
that's good, that's good.
Ask people to blow their sidewalks off, because when they leave the grass on there, that draws
Yeah.
weeds real quick.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But if you can, if you're able, blow the sidewalk off, that we just got all scraped up and cleaned,
Yeah,
and be very appreciated.
good, good.
Lady's doing a good job painting up there too.
Yeah, she should be done this week, really.
I don't know how you could ever do that.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah.
Stand right there on something that big and
Oh, I know. It's 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 crazy.
I don't know how you could ever do that.
Yeah. So yeah. We got the one mural is for our future, basically our what's going on currently, because we've got pictures. Every picture that's on the one mural, what says a great place to call home, is actually a picture of somebody local. So that's kind of cool, and it shows all the activities that go on around town. It's got youth baseball, basketball, race cars, jamboree, the dance academy. Yeah, I'm not sure what else. Walking. People walk around town. So and then the other mural is about our history, our Oil City history. So good mixture of both. So yeah, and she's done a great job.
Yeah, yeah.
She's good person. I appreciate her. Okay, well, Police Chief Snyder.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello there.
Glad to be before you today. Glad to see you. Again, as I've said before, getting to the age where I'm just glad to be able to see.
Yeah.
So, as you probably noticed that my official attire
Yeah.
has changed today.
Yeah.
A very bright shirt. Matter of fact, I think Gary remarked brighter than the guy wearing it. But we don't care what.
I remember saying,
I don't care what. Well, you were thinking it. I could read it. Yeah, you were thinking it.
That's a good one.
But no, but then again, I don't care what Gary says. So sticks and stones, Mister, sticks and stones. Okay. I don't have much for you. I'll try to keep it real brief. Before you the call sheets, I went ahead and handed those out early to so you can see those. We're pushing for time just a little bit here. Does anybody have any questions about anything on there? Our numbers are up, and again, some of that. The numbers might be skewed a little bit just because of Operation Pullover, which we've been working quite a bit of too. So that would explain some of the difference in the numbers. Our call volume overall throughout the city for services have remained pretty much consistent throughout this month anyway.
I know you see them out and about a lot, they're all,
Yep.
see the police everywhere now. It's good.
Yeah.
Presence is what we're striving for. Then with presence, then voluntary compliance. That's the goal. That's the goal. Anybody have any questions about any of that? If not, I will move forward. Okay. Vehicles, Crown Vic's still doing good. Got a couple small things to get worked out on there with the air conditioning. Of course, that's essential this time of year anyway.
Yeah.
It's extremely hot.
Yeah.
Do you mind? You had your chance at the pulpit here. You had your chance. Now just pipe down. Mayor, if you want this fellow removed, I will. Everybody's a critic these days. Gee whiz. Put a cork in it, mister. Anyway, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, the Crown Vic's running good. No issues there to speak of. It's just minor stuff. It's just age related. But as far as the motor, having that replaced, it's running as good as it's ever run.
Good.
So working very well. We did have to replace a water pump on the 2014 Charger. Again, just wear and tear on the vehicle there. I don't think that one's ever been replaced. We thought we had a cooling issue too. One of the cooling fans was not working, but I messed with that a couple days ago, and I think it was just some corrosion on a relay contacts. I was able to fix that. We didn't have to send it to the shop to get looked at, so saved a little money there. And it seems to be, by all reason, it seems to be running okay right now, so there's no issues with that. All the other vehicles are in good shape. I spoke with Michael McLean the other day via text about getting the decals on the new car. So that's in the process, in the works. Also received a text from the upfitter that we use down in Castleton. who says he's starting to receive in some of the equipment for that vehicle. So I expect to get a call from him anytime to say, hey, bring it down so we can get all of that stuff installed.
Okay.
And then we'll have that car ready to go. Just in time for Justin Heath to come back from the academy. By the way, he's about halfway through it right now. I think he told me that the graduation date is August the 22nd. I'd have to confirm that, and I'll let you know in ahead of time so you can make plans for that. But I believe it's August 22nd, so we're just about half, or just a little over halfway with him through the academy. So looking forward to getting him back and getting him into the saddle with things. Did receive an email, and I assume, Mayor, that you did too, from the folks at J&K Radio on the licensure of the fire department's repeater system. The FCC has approved that license, so that's just the next step closer to getting the repeater system for the fire department put into place and on the air, and I expect installation to take place sometime within the next month on that. So I would say by mid-August, we should have their system up and going. That's tentatively, though, of course. Again, with a lot of things going on, trade wars, this, that, and the other, it's been kind of a struggle getting some of the parts in. And so the repeater is made in, no, it's not Australia, but it's I don't want to show my ignorance to geographics here, but it's not the Netherlands because I don't think that's on the Australian continent.
I would say across the ocean.
It is across the pond, as they would say. So, but no, it is not Taiwan. No,
New Zealand?
there you go, New Zealand. Robbie for the save on that one. It is made in New Zealand, so we should be expecting that in pretty soon.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't think I have anything else for you.
I got an email too about they're going to close the bridge on 18.
Read that they're not closing it. They're going to be essentially removing debris out of the side, the same as what they're doing on 124 up by the Salamone Reservoir.
Okay.
It'll still be open. There'll just be small flaggers on the side.
Okay. All right.
And it won't be for probably 2 more years.
Oh, okay.
They're just warning us now that they're going to be in here doing it.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, you can see Montpelier on a map, but you can't get there from here. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with all the
they've got roads
construction.
closed down all
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
place.
that's true.
Actually, that's what this was for, just to let everybody know that it's that time of year where Indiana changes from the state flag to the orange caution flag.
That's true.
So it's progress, but that's progress. I joke about that, but that's progress. So otherwise, unless anybody has any questions for me. Oh, one other thing with regard to on a serious note, with regard to the orange T-shirt, it was mentioned before the council meeting, but at the council meeting, that there's been some issues experienced by residents with regard to not being able to see stop signs because they're covered with trees. And so Officer Jarvis had kind of went around and kind of made a list of some of these areas that need to be addressed and have those trees cut away. But also it was addressed by Councilman Sills at the council meeting Monday night. And Cam and his crew are doing a fantastic job around town, and I know that they're just running about peak capacity. But with the fact that that's been brought to our attention now, and I think that there's a possibility of potential liability if we don't address those trees in a very timely manner. So given the schedule that the city workers are experiencing with the parks and everything else that are going between weather fronts and storms, I reassigned myself and Craig Jarvis to the street department today. So effectively, as soon as this meeting's over, I should say, we're going to go out, we're going to start trimming and chipping those trees away from that, just to kind of help relieve the burden for the street department, and also address it in a timely manner so we don't have to worry about any potential liability on our part should someone not make a stop sign and get hit.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
So
Thank you for doing that.
we're going to try to have all this done and wrapped up by 8 o'clock tonight. So just for folks, if they see someone out chipping and cutting, after.
Is there a lot of intersections that have?
There are several.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
there are several.
Okay. All right.
Some of them also too, we're going to trim back from the stop sign on the approach of those intersections, just
Okay.
because there's some low hanging limbs and things that kind of impede the ability to see the stop sign until you're right on top of it. So we're going to be doing that as well. Nobody stole the city truck, I promise you. We're just going to go out and try to expedite this process.
Good. All right. Very good. Thank
So,
you. Yeah.
all right. Does anyone else have any questions?
Naturally.
Mayor, I appreciate the time at the microphone, Mayor.
So in August, when you get the new patrolman.
Are you serious?
When you get the new patrolman in August, will that make you full staff or not, Chris? I'm just curious, I didn't know.
It's
I know
gonna.
you've been down for years.
We're slowly getting there. We're doing well. We've talked about adding potentially adding a fifth officer to actually get back up where we used to be. However, right now, I propose to the mayor that we not move on that hastily, mostly in part due to the Senate Bill 1 that passed with reduction of tax, property taxes. And we're still kind of holding our breath and bracing for impact on what that's going to look like for the community. So the last thing I want to do is hire someone, we spend all the money to train them up and then have to, furlough them because we just can't afford to have the fifth officer. So I told the mayor, I said, we're holding our own right now and doing well with the ones that we have, plus the part-time staff that we have. So I think the financially prudent thing to do is enter into the fifth officer with a little reservation right now, just kind of move into it slowly to make sure we can afford to do it before we just jump right into it.
Well, how many years has it been since we've been at 4, though?
Yeah.
Several.
It's been a long
Been many-
time.
Several.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I
it's-
wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And it's during that period of time, it was a struggle, but even at that's why we went to 4, was because at that time, it was alleged that we couldn't afford, 5 at that time, or it was really going to put us in financial straits to do that. So it's when we cut back, I believe it was in 2012, I think it was when we went back. Financially at that point in time, it was determined that, we're just not going to probably have that money without cutting other services. And so we made do. That's when we brought on the part-time staff. So,
We're trying to hire them and you're trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
All that.
well, so here, okay, so you bring that up, and I told the mayor, and I also told, Officer Jarvis this, is that my vision for our police department is a little different maybe than others, whereas, a certain job may or may not be the police department. It might be seen as the water departments, or it might be seen as the street departments, or it could be the fire department. But here, Montpelier's a little unique in a very proud way, I might say, where everybody pitches in and pulls together.
Yep.
When there's a problem, regardless of whose department it is, we just try to address it so much as it depends on our ability. And I think that's one of the things that we can take great pride in, is that Montpelier historically has always pulled together in the community, and I think that the government should be no less an example of that by pulling together when there's a need. And so I feel very good about, donning a different set of clothes and manning a chainsaw and a chipper to try to just come together for the common good of everybody. So I do it proudly.
Good, very good.
All right,
great.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, and Chief King for Fire Department?
We've had 9 fires and 4 EMS runs last month. That was down like 4 runs from the previous month, so that's good. And then we also got our new monitor in. The Blackford Community Foundation helped with that grant to
Good,
get.
good.
So we did
Okay.
get it in this week. And then the hydrant down by the racetrack, did that ever get taken care of?
Yeah, I think it's back on and everything now, so.
Okay. And then just down to the Fireman's Park, that
Yeah,
one's.
that one there's off
Okay.
until we get that
All right.
part in.
And then that's all I've got.
Okay. All right.
How many EMS runs you say?
4?
4.
Yeah. Okay. All right, very good, very good.
Yeah, there's been an ambulance in town quite a bit, so
Yeah, yeah.
we haven't had to go on a lot of runs.
I talked to J.D. Morris, who's a contractor that bought the old H&D building, about fixing your garage door. Of course, we got it temporarily fixed, so
Right.
it goes up and down, and
Yeah.
it's fully functional. It's just not sealed.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, but he's looking into fixing that.
He's
so,
gonna take a look at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Was that turned into insurance?
No.
I mean, we could. What's our deductible?
They carry their insurance.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
so
we do carry.
do you know what the deductible is, or?
No, I don't know right offhand.
Yeah, I guess we could actually, because it's probably going to be probably 10,000, repair. I don't know. I guess we'll get the estimate. We'll go from there.
I can call Linda and find out.
Well, let's get the estimate. We'll talk it over after we get the estimate and go from
Okay.
there. So, yeah. Great. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. All right. Utility issues. We have guess the big one is, it's not huge, but it's, we had the First Methodist Church, which normally always runs a minimum bill of about $100 or whatever the minimum is. They had a bill of $606.77, apparently from a leaky toilet. They, and they're asking for an adjustment on that. So, what we normally do is just adjust the sewer back to the normal rate, and then they pay the full water bill. I think we've already, well, I mean, that's just our standard policy, so unless there's another issue, is there anything else they're asking for? That's what we give. So,
What would the bill be?
I don't know, that's a good question, but whatever their sewer, you know, I mean, idea what they need.
Almost the same amounts of water, so maybe $150 off.
Yeah,
Okay.
150, 200, something like that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and also commented how nicely, how nice Michelle is in dealing with everything, so they had some, saying that they appreciate how she was able to handle and work with them. Said Michelle was very professional, helpful, considerate, and understanding, so she'll appreciate that.
There's a lot of them that don't agree with that, you know?
I'm sorry?
There's a lot of them that don't do that too.
That is right, absolutely. We appreciate Michelle handling things.
Yep.
She does a good job. So, yes. Then we also have pool fills, just adjustments here, so. And that's basically from, anytime somebody has a pool fill, they can adjust their water back from the water, excess water that they use.
They adjust half of the sewer charge.
Adjust half the sewer charge? Okay, all right. Well, that's just our standard policy too. I don't think there's anything really to vote on, is there?
Other than you're accepting the charges that's been applied.
Okay,
That's $1,198.84.
okay. Accepting the charges, okay, yeah, okay. So that, yeah, we're adjusting the wastewater and for the pool fills, $1,188.08. Do you have a motion to?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Gary motions, I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. And, got our claims docket. We want a motion to accept our claims as shown.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Gary motions, I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. New business. We do have any new business while we're here?
Heard any more about the new line in Stanley that you mentioned some time ago?
That's in. They did get it in. They've not really said much more about it than that. So,
They hired them people?
they, because of some, they were actually going to have to trim some of their staff, and because of that, they're not going to be trimming so at all. So, which is good.
What? Did you
Well,
read that?
No, that's when we were out there talking to them. That's what they said. That's when, that day we went through and toured the plant.
Or something else there was,
That,
because of the same line?
I believe it's the same line. But no, they've not said any more about it though, to me.
So
so-
they're trimming,
Well, that's, what they said to us was that because the overall Chrysler orders were down, they were actually not needing as much staff, but because of this new line, they were gonna be able to keep everybody employed. Yeah, so. Yeah, so they got a new line in, so, which is good.
is it automated or manual?
I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Any other new business? Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, your motions, all second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,